we have talked about our fallouts and shit like that.
Right.
So I'm able to understand that shit from a different level. You know, everybody sees the public and they got everything to say. They want to talk about this and that, but like, that should be hurting.
Right.
I understand, because essentially it's family, right? That you're building with, everything like that.
Or you thinking it's family, that's what the thing, and you realize it's not. That'd be the thing. I'd be like, I bet. Like all the sleepless nights, you know?
Yeah, when you think,
what was it all for? Type shit.
That was gonna be my next question. Do you? So again, I'm not really in the know of this situation, but I will ask: is this somebody you had a relationship with outside of music, and that you kind of like?
I would say, yeah, I would say that. You know.
So would you do? All right. Do you think it's a good idea to have a close relationship with your artist prior to? I mean, obviously you build a good relationship with them, but is it good to have a past or be friends with the person that is your artist, or does that kind of create more turmoil than anything?
I don't know. It's subjective, really. I got
just about to say that.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, that's how you meet the artist. Y'all friends.
Sometimes. But I do think that it could literally go either way. Like, you have situations where it works, you have situations where it don't, and we see this in real time with, you know, A-list celebrities. So give or take.
No, I agree.
It's difficult though. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I would just say, like, does it pose more? Does it? Because I would imagine that having the closer relationship would allow you to maybe cross lines, or they cross lines because you have this closer relationship with this person rather than someone that you don't necessarily have that kind of rapport with.
No boundaries,
right? So you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're like managing your cousin, it's like, where's the line drawn?
I think as an artist manager, I've been guilty of that too. You've talked to me about that. Like, yo, sometimes you got to be able to draw that line, and motherfuckers be hopscotching, double dutching, like for real. But I mean, I think that. Like, let's think about a corporate world. Like, it's the same shit, you know. You get in, you have your coworkers, you have the people that you fuck with, and eventually, like, some lines get blurred until you gotta address that shit.
You gotta clarify that, because I don't think that's the same.
In terms of what?
It's corporate America versus a nigga I know that I have a.
You never had a work friend where you thought, like we just said, you thought it was a certain type of way. You thought, you know, the relationship was... No?
Very clear that we work.
He said, nah, I don't do that shit. Oh, so you never fuck one of your coworkers, huh?
Not in that sense. I make sure that it's very separate. I mean, I'm not saying that's not something that exists. It just doesn't exist for me.
Okay.
I just don't trust it because that's my employment. But, you know.
Well, clearly we talked about lines and shit.
Yeah. We're not hopscotching against my money. I mean, again, it's probably something that is real. Is that something that you've dealt with? Like, have you ever managed someone that you would consider family?
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
Was, in comparison to the people that aren't that close, which ones is, in your experience, have been easier to deal with?
Oh, easier? That's tough to say. It's never easy. I say, but with the family part of it though, like there's certain conversations that we know it's not gonna go past whatever, just because we know we're family. Like, we can argue to the death. It's just know that we both, like, when it comes to family, like, I done manage family members, like literally family members, not even like family, but real family. So it's like we done been through stuff that we know we both want what's best for each other. Like, we know that at the end of the day. And we also know that if either of us was to stop doing music or whatever, or stop doing whatever we doing with each other, it would be the same thing, same love. Yeah. So that's what it's different at. But when it becomes what can I do for you? Or what can I guy to you? It becomes different, because respectfully, type of guy I am, I feel Scoop can relate. Like, our lives are a certain type of way outside of music, whether we never do anything with a mic again.
Right.
Which is why I'm actually glad that you guys
bullshit.
are here. We were just talking about this in the car.
So it's like, as managers, sometimes we know the artists, not to say usually, but there's an artist, there's just the music might be their only thing, or their best bet to whatever they're trying to get to. You feel me? So we take their only thing and make it our everything, or you feel me?
Right.
And
you
then
see the vision for
you feel what I'm trying to say? And it's like, you know, sometimes
he's a rapper,
that's all they get into,
bars,
bro.
He's filling in for Vonnie right now. He's usually the bar guy. You dropping him right now.
Like, that's you know, so it's like that's all they get into sometimes. So,
well, so I guess my follow-up question to that is, being in a situation where you're obviously managing people, how how is the separation between like? All right, let me rephrase this. How hard is it like separating your job from the fact that of their job being the artist? Do you think that they should know more about the business, or do you think that you just keep your job being the business side and they just focus strictly on artistry?
So when I started managing with my boy Mizzy. He was just starting off as an artist, so we was learning this shit together. So everything I was learning, he be in the car with me. Every phone call, it'd be like, he's my brother, so we just figuring it out together. So in some situations, I feel like you should, but then once your business is all established, you just gotta send them a paper and sign it. Boom. They don't gotta know. They gotta just read the paper and know what's up. Bullshit.
I never got to that part, so.
This guy.
I needed them like I in my experience, and I guess it's because of my lack of experience, I was like, we kind of need to like tackle this together.
Yeah. I think it helps if, again, different artists, like there's some people that literally just want to focus on creating the music and shit like that, which is cool as long as you do that shit 100%. And there's a common misconception that that's it sometimes, and it's a music business. This is why that book is right there, right? So if you guys who are watching, the artists and shit, if you guys understand that, again, music business, music is a small percentage of it. 90% of it is getting out here, doing everything.
Business, yeah.
What do you think is the most difficult part for the artist as far as creativity? Like outside of making the music, like what is their job? Like, okay, I made the music, I gotta present myself on stage. Like what
you gotta present yourself.
Rehearsing, is one of them. Rehearsing.
So rehearsing, obviously, presentation,
appearance,
choreography,
how you look,
how you carry yourself, social media, all that shit. How you talk in interviews,
how you look.
And this is the job
how you look
of the
nah, people be forgetting that fact.
How you look. Oh bullshit.
So how important, you said that 3 times, how important is how you look to the general consensus?
Yo. You see, I said music's 10%, how you look's probably like 30. You know what I'm saying? Way bigger than just the music.
He's like a lot higher than me.
No. We're in a day and age where it's like,
it comes off.
You could be J. Cole, or you could.
You can't be J. Cole until
you can't
J.
start
Cole.
right. You can't start off J. Cole.
Yes, you could.
No, that's not true.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, there's.
You think so?
You could. Yeah.
I
don't know what you want to do.
Michael Christmas was like that. He was like that.
Yeah, he was himself.
J. Cole vibe.
He was himself. Yeah, that's it. That's all you gotta do.
It's all about your brand.
So that's fair. All right.
He was fresh.
So let's not. But yeah, I'll just say Michael Christmas definitely is fresh. Or is
I got a question.
Is he still doing music?
At what point do you think that an artist needs a manager?
That's a tough one.
Soon as it starts bubbling, like, you know,
what does bubbling look like?
First 10K views, you're like, oh, this got 10K. Well, let's do something. That's good. Yeah, I feel like, you know, when you start seeing attraction come towards that way, you like, okay, we can do something with it. Because at the end of the day, us as managers, we're literally the people that just spectate in the talent.
Right.
What you think?
With me, man, I mean, the manager words gets tossed around because it's more common, but I be really digging into that like artist development bag, like, it takes, you got to get somewhere to even be manageable, to even be profitable, to even be thinking that you're making money or you're worth making money, or to even think that when somebody from out of town sees you, they're like, oh my god, that's a person I want to do a feature with and give money to. You have to look a certain way. You can't just be talking that shit. Everybody can rap. There's niggas that's sitting outside right now. We can go to the corner store right now and hit niggas spit 16s like that. So it's like you gotta put yourself in that space, and that's what a manager or whoever you want to call your team, you gotta put you in that space to, you know, so receive whatever you're looking for.
I'm glad that you said that. So how do you? Obviously, we're from Boston. I think I don't want to use this. We're not the biggest market when it comes to like hip hop music specifically or whatever. How do you think that you could actually? Do you think that it's a Boston thing, or is it an artist thing that kind of slows down the progress of growth here for artists? Because I see a lot of artists that do make it, they seem to always leave and go to another state.
Like it's a little bit of both.
I was about to say both too. Yeah. I think both.
What do you think would be the thing that can do? Is there a foundation here that's missing that doesn't allow the growth that needs to happen, or is it something that you blame on the city? Is it the artists? Is it the managers? Like, is there blame to go around?
It depends on what you're looking for in it. You know? Yeah, like what route you want to do in this music shit.
But can you stay here and do it?
I believe so.
I believe so.
Oh, bullshit.
I believe so.
Because I always I've noticed
with social media, the internet.
I was about to say that social media is the the landscape. It's not about that how it used to be geographical. It's not really about that like it used to be.
Well, I mean, but even if you look analytically, geographically, like how much of for your artists, how much of the players are from here?
I mean, a lot, but that's because majority of the artists are lucky enough to have stories outside of the music that relate to the city. So
okay, so that's
kind of
So let's build on that. When you say all right, you got to have the look and everything else like that. It sounds like a story is just as important. How important is the story?
Very, very, very.
So because you know what I mean, like I feel like back in the day, the music was a lot more important. That you didn't have to see a face of the artist; they just had to be talented. Like you said, now you can get a dude outside spitting a hot 16. So you're literally building yourself as a brand.
Yeah.
How difficult is that for an artist that doesn't necessarily understand that, for you to kind of instill that ideology into them?
It's real important. It's tough too. Cause the branding part is everything. Like that goes beyond when you dropping music. That goes on how you posting on Snapchat. You might think nobody follows you on there. It's not Instagram. But how people perceive you is everything. Like they see you up there. You might wake up early in the morning, hair not done. Talking your shit and thinking it's cool because you can with your friends.
Everything, yeah.
You feel me? Like nobody, no fan or not many fans want to be, look to be somebody that or look to artists that they don't want to be. Look up to. They want to be Beyonce because Beyonce is that. Right. It's not because her nose is running when you see on social media and shit. Like they don't want to be like they don't want to be
right.
So it's like
because like back in the day, like what Wiz used to do was the day-to-days. Like I was hella intrigued. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he still does.
But I was Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
Like that was kind of the thing that gravitated me towards him more than even the music initially, because I'm like, oh, this nigga's doing, you know what I mean? Like this shit cool. Like you know what I mean? So I definitely agree with that. What would you give advice for an artist who kind of loves the music but doesn't really have an identity? Like what is the tips that you would give to them?
Bullshit, I'll build a story around them and present the story. I'm like, yo, this is really what you do, this is the type of artist you are.
Yeah, because I feel like everyone has a story, right? It's just like, how do I present this in a way that's viable?
The fact that he just said that though, can you repeat that again, please, just one more time?
I just build it around them, the whole story around them. Make it a whole brand,
This is why you need. It sounds like you would need a manager very early on in a space like that, right?
Once you start bubbling.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a nice product, a solid product.
Yeah, there's a story behind it and everything. Like, okay, this shit just needs a little bit polishing. Good.
Mm-hmm.
What would you consider as like? I met as one artist, and I was like, nigga. So it's like, what is the max amount of artists that you'd be like, you know what? I'm good right now. This is it. I don't need no more.
Like 8, 10.
10 artists?
By yourself?
Yeah. So he's going crazy.
10 is crazy.
Nah, but I'm talking about if you got the whole machine and everything.
Oh, you got the machine?
Okay, no. I'm saying like
you though. What about you?
Yeah, no.
What's the max amount that you've dealt with at one time?
Dealt with?
Yeah.
5. Yeah, 5 artists.
That sounds like a lot even. So what about you?
I don't know, man. I say a lot, but I delegate. Like I said, we got a team. I'm different, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Ain't on me.
So yeah, see, and
on me.
You had about what, 4, 5,
7?
That's too many.
But it wasn't just me.
Yeah, no. So you had.
Yeah, it was Silas's.